Hello everyone, welcome to StraightA. Dawson here, back on another video here today. And man, yeah, we're going to NFL season, or NFL fantasy football season, going into week 8 basically. Sorry, I'm just like all over the place right now because I'm like, this has just not been everybody was not having a good time at the beginning of the season. Now it's my turn to not have some fun and not enjoy myself. So, yeah, it's not been a great turnaround, but we'll talk about it here a little bit. About what happened, how it can go. But hopefully y'all do enjoy. Leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment any suggestions for future videos below. We're just going to step right into it. So, I finally took my first loss. I am no longer 6-0 or undefeated in any of my leagues. I'm 6-1 now in this league, and let's just say a very, very unfortunate course of actions have taken place since basically this game is concluded. So, I lost by 7 points. Not that big of a deal. I mean, it was lower end scoring, but let's look at my team. Jane Daniels out with a rib injury. Could be, week by week, essentially. Brandon Ayuk, Chris Godwin out for the season. There goes my two number 1 and number 2 receivers. And, yeah. Looking at the rest of my team, I'm in a pretty bad spot. Hopkins did give me some good news. Lad McConkey is going to be good. Cortland Sutton, we'll talk about him and Derrick Henry here in a minute. I've been alluding to this for a while. I have alluded, and honestly, we may go into if we can do league transactions and show you the trade that went down. Boom. I made a trade. I made a trade, and I don't think it was that good of a trade anymore. The top two are essentially the trade that in question. I received Devon Achane, Jerry Jeudy, and Xavier Worthy for Derrick Henry and Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton's a non-factor for me because I'd rather have all three of the guys I got over Cortland Sutton. So he's a non-factor. So essentially, I gave up Derrick Henry and I gave him a little bit of extra piece that I would have probably dropped or would have considered dropping for Devon Achane, Jerry Jeudy, and Xavier Worthy. Jerry Jeudy is basically like another throw-in. Okay, I like the depth. So it's really Xavier Worthy is really me trading down to Devon Achane with the best running back in the league for Xavier Worthy and Jerry Jeudy. And okay, for the record, I don't think this is an outrageous trade of I got scammed. But I was definitely in panic mode, desperation mode, where I decided I need to sell somebody, and I'd said Derrick Henry was the person I wanted to sell because Alvin Kamara and Kyron Williams have really easy schedules. So I was like, well, I feel more comfortable with those two. I have their definite handcuffs. I have Keaton Mitchell in case something does go wrong with Derrick Henry, but Keaton Mitchell's still a throwaway piece. I'm like, Derrick Henry can't keep up this chain. That's when I was like, okay, I'm going to sell Derrick Henry because he's at his high. There's no way he keeps up the momentum, and he may will, he may not. That was just me reasoning to myself. So yeah, I don't think this is a great trade because I did not realize at the time DeAndre Hopkins was going to come to Kansas City. So it was like, okay, Xavier Worthy's probably going to get a lot of love. He has been getting a lot of love. Sooner or later, it's going to turn into targets. Patrick Mahomes is going to get out of his slump. Jerry Jeudy, he's the number 1 there in the Browns offense besides David Njoku, but you still need a receiver of some sort. And I think Jameis Winston and Jerry Jeudy can connect really, really well. So I think people are kind of selling him low. Granted, I probably shouldn't sell him as high as I fucking did, but needless to say. For the record, straight up, I lost this trade. Straight up, lost a trade. But at the same time, I'm now left. Let's go into the current score game tracker thing. I was clearly the number 1 guy in this league. Now I'm no longer that number 1 guy. Currently I have Jane Daniels. He'll be back within a week or two, if not this week. Hopefully he does take a week to get off, but I need to figure out who I'm dropping in that case. So now my running back consists of Kyron Williams, Devon Achane, and Alvin Kamara. And I'll tell you what, straight up, if I had those three, even throughout the whole season or throughout this whole time, even if Derrick Henry wasn't on my team, I'd feel very, very good about myself, especially right now. Especially if I was 6-1 right now and I had Devon Achane sitting on my bench or something, and I got him now, I would feel amazing about Devon Achane. I feel great about him. I don't think I traded that low, but I recognize that the trade value I gave up for Derrick Henry at the time I was buying Devon Achane is very, very different. I think that when it's all said and done, this will be a very fair trade. But at the same time, I'm taking all the risk now rather than getting a little bit of cushion room, maybe getting Garrett Wilson, maybe getting, whatever. I probably could have asked for more rather than just Jerry Jeudy and Xavier Worthy. I just panic mode. The guy made me feel like I was getting a whole lot already, and so I kind of succumbed to it. So I realized I got played, but we're moving on. And his team's actually kind of stacked now. I'm not, no overall. Boom. Where is his team? He is right here. Yeah, he is projected 150 points because Derrick Henry's projected 20, Josh Allen's 25, Saquon Barkley. Granted, his team outside of that's not very good. I mean, Garrett Wilson is still a risk. Darnell Mooney every now and then gets targets. Stephon Diggs. is either boom or bust. David Njoku is getting targets, but we don't know how Jameis Winston's going to come up, and his depth is awful. Michael Pittman's okay, I guess, but other than that, and Jalen McMillan, I guess, could turn out to something. Tucker Kraft, okay, he has a good team. Okay, I talked myself into it. He has a very good team. And now my receivers are a bunch of bargain bins and seeing who can work out. DeAndre Hopkins, I think, is actually going to work out very well. Xavier Worthy, I think, could be very well. So I'm really going for the Chiefs here, I guess, in this next couple weeks. Jerry Jeudy against Baltimore, I just think he's going to get a lot of targets. Ladd McConkey could go either way, so I may swap Jerry Jeudy and Ladd McConkey. Devin Singletary's hopefully just going to get back in the offense, but I'm not going to start him this week. Juwan Jennings, I did pick him up on waivers, so I think it's going to be consistently Devon Achane, DeAndre Hopkins, and Jerry Jeudy as my three other people on the roster, but you can every now and then put Ladd McConkey in, every now and then put Devin Singletary in, every now and then put Xavier Worthy in. I have good depth. That is really rocking for me. Is I'm 6-1. I have good depth, and I have some upside players. So I'm not exactly worried about it, but also at the same time, I recognize that Derrick Henry would have kept my team really good. And the only thing I'll be missing is Xavier Worthy and Jerry Jeudy, who would get replaced by Ladd McConkey and Devin Singletary at this point. I probably would have picked up somebody else. Like I'm probably going to drop Antonio Gibson. I'm debating whether he's worth trading for anything, but like probably not. And I'll probably pick up Troy Franklin. Or if this week, if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, I'll probably pick up Bo Nix just because he's playing in Carolina. I thought about Russell Wilson against the Giants. I'll pick up one of the two, Bo Nix or Russell Wilson, if Jaden Daniels doesn't play. If Jaden Daniels plays, I'll take a risk on him this week. Other than that, if we're looking at the standings right now, I got Kyron Williams still. He put up 22 points. Very, very good. I feel very good about my chances against Ben this week. I play Ben, funny enough. Jalen Hurts, I'm always a little bit worried about. Nick Chubb probably won't find the end zone again. Javonte against Carolina is worrisome. Amon-Ra, always worrisome. It's across the board. Like his top 5, I'm kind of worried about. Then I get the Shakir. I'm not impressed by Shakir. I'm not impressed by Bateman. He's struggling a lot. DK Metcalf's probably not playing. Justice Hill's a Hail Mary play. So I think I'm going to take a W here and go 7-1. But now that this guy who's 1-6 now has Derrick Henry and 150 points projection, he's in my division. So I just have to win 3 games to make sure he doesn't win the division. But then he can take a wild card, and then I'm worried. But we'll talk about that in a different time. We'll see. It's not the greatest feeling in the world right now, but I still feel very good. I'll pick up a win probably this week and hopefully move on and forget the trade in the future. And I did lose my number 1 waiver pick, so this is a very unfortunate game. I thought I was going to win this, then Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson decided to skull fuck me. It's just, again, a very unfortunate game. I had very good players across the board. Jaden Reed didn't do very well, and Younghoe Koo didn't do well. Zamir White didn't do well. I thought Zamir White was going to come back, but then he was just carried by 2 players, and he won. I mean, straight up. I mean, we have a great roster here, which we'll talk about right now. We're 3-4 in this league. And this is the big league, so this is like a must-win week for us. And I'm saying us because Ben helped me draft this. Luckily, we had Kyron Williams and Cooper Kupp, so they put up some decent points here. So I feel good about that regard, but we are still pretty close. I mean, it's not like he's out of the realm of possibility. So is Josh Allen, he has Kelsey, Jennings. He's going to take off his roster, so he's going to put somebody else in, like Eckler probably, maybe Lockett. Lockett should probably be a good play for him. Again, our depth is really good because I like Kamani Vidal's long-term upside. Jonathan Brooks will be back here soon. Shakir is still, while I shit on him earlier, I think he's still a reliable play. Amari Cooper, Jaden Reed, we have Laporta. I mean, we have a great starting lineup, but we're going to have to pick up some wins very, very soon in this league. As for the next league, we have a super flex league. We actually took our dub in this league, so we're 2-5. So we're still kind of in the conversation of being in the playoffs. We'll see. I'll kind of start doing some maybe playoff updates probably around going into week 10 because I think we still need 2 more games to really pile up before we can start making like chances, who's eliminated, who's not, how much of a chance we really have. But we did take a dub. This is a pretty easy game for us though. I mean, wasn't too much to worry about with his roster, kind of similar to mine. But I at least have some upside players. I still think that our roster is still damn good. Nothing really to talk about here other than Deshaun Watson going out. So I spent a buttload of fab on Jameis Winston because I don't have another really quarterback except for Drake May. So, yeah. Moving on to the actual lineup for this week. Luckily, again, we had Justin Jefferson. And we're actually favored again. We're playing some of the lower end teams right now, so we're kind of picking up some dubs and kind of going into that maybe like 6-7 spot is kind of our goal at this point. Because I think the playoffs in this league is 6. So I feel pretty good about that. Otherwise, again, our roster's pretty good. I think Jameis Winston can be good. I think Drake May can be good. Ramondre, Alexander Madison have shown to be very, reliable. Chase, Jefferson, and basically being our 2 receivers, great. Evan Ingram is going to be great. Jonathan Taylor, as long as he's healthy, he's going to play great. I mean, across the board, I love our roster. Chris Olave, Michael Pittman, Calvin Ridley, Tank Bigsby, all those being our, extra like bench slots. This is like one of the best depths I have in any league. But it's just that I'm unfortunately in that weird spot where I'm in super flex, so like quarterbacks are killing me lately. So we'll see. I feel like a very good shot. I mean, he has Gibbs, Dobbins, both could go off for a pretty good game this week. Maybe more so Dobbins than Gibbs, but otherwise I'm really not afraid of anybody on this team. Like even his super flex is Rashad Bateman, so like I feel good across the board. Jalen Waddle, honestly, I'd play if 2 is in, play him. I 100% would. So we'll see. We'll see. Not feeling optimistic. Another unfortunate matchup this week. We took a big L. Again, it was that last-minute Baker Mayfield onside kick that basically, it wasn't Baker Mayfield kicking the onside kick, but you get what I mean. He was a part of the drive that basically just killed me. Pretty good points from him, 119. I think, 119 to my 115. So very, very close, but he's now 5-2. I'm 3-4. And 4 people make the playoffs in this league. It's my full PPR league. It's really unfortunate because in terms of the league, again, I'm now in the bottom half, but I'm not a bottom half team. I'm not a bottom half team. Luckily, we have an easier matchup against you, Josh. Sorry, granted, Cooper Kupp didn't really make that stretch out too much, but we have Jordan Love, James Conner, Kareem Hunt, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, CeeDee Lamb, Chiefs, and Chase McLaughlin. So I feel very, very good in that regard. But he has some upside players: Jordan Mason, Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram, Devontae Adams even. It does make me a little worried. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But he didn't start Puka Nacua, so I feel very, very good about that. Pacheco should be coming back soon. Jonathan Taylor should be healthy soon. Calvin Ridley, Chuba Hubbard is being subbed out for Jonathan Brooks whenever. David Njoku is my tight end. Jalen Waddle, again, would think about starting him if my least best receivers, basically probably Malik Neighbors, I guess. But man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to come back in this league because we got to get several wins and we got to hope for some losses from some of the top people here pretty soon. So again, we'll kind of do some in-depth actually league breakdown here soon, but I'm not really too worried about it at the moment. I did take a bunch of dubs in Yahoo, so we did take down a 5-2 team. We had a good week. Kyler Murray, George Pickens. Now that Russell Wilson's actually playing very, very good. James Cook. I don't know if I feel great about him in the future, but hopefully he continues it. Breece Hall, I feel very good about. Going forward, Demario Douglas, not as good anymore. I think I dropped him actually in this league. But now we do have Hopkins. We have ETN. Our depth before wasn't very good, but I think between then and now, we actually feel very, very good. Facing a 4-3 team, our favorite to lose right now because we did not have a very good week by Jordan Addison. But I didn't drop Demario Douglas. I still have all these guys, but they're all looking in a trending good direction. Chris Olave, when he's healthy and back in the game a little bit. Travis Etienne, maybe it's going to get utilized this week. Right now, I got Tony Pollard. I'm keeping James Cook for now because he's still expected to play. I picked up Jalen McMillan. Should turn out as an okay flex position. Otherwise, we're kind of going for that mid-range points and hope that some of his players don't do as well. So A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra, Kareem Hunt. A lot of players that I have in other leagues, but Brian Robinson Jr., I mean, he has a good roster too. So it's gonna be a tough week. It's gonna be a tough week here, but Swift Justice is here to stay, is my opinion. But it could be a good win. Next league. This is half PPR. Both those leagues are half PPR, I believe. Whoops. Yep, half PPR. A very good week. Very close matchup. He did almost come back near the end there with Kate Otten. He almost made a comeback with a fucking tight end, which is crazy. I hate my fucking mouse right now. I need to get a new mouse. Our depth is not great, but also don't feel bad about our starting lineup either. Mark Andrews now is trending in a great direction. Chuba Hubbard, again, with Jonathan Brooks on the IR slot for us, good. Metcalf and Chase in the long run will be good. Deontay Johnson, a little bit worried about. I have to change my lineup, I think, this week because I think I have Deontay currently in. I do currently have Deontay in, so we're not favored by a long shot. Let's actually go and change it up right now so we can get some live updates. Actually, I have DK and Deontay in currently, so that's actually really, really unfortunate for my point projection. But across the board, I don't have many good plays. I actually will, funny enough, probably have to do Mark Andrews in my flex spot, which actually I don't feel bad about at all. I actually feel kind of decent about that. Devin Singletary, don't want to start him. Travis Etienne against Green Bay, not really. So who's my pick? Jacoby Myers against Kansas City? Or Lab McConkey against New Orleans? Probably, if Jacoby Myers plays, probably Jacoby Myers, but not a great pick for me, I'll be honest with you. Hopefully that saved. Yeah, it saved, but I'm still 35%, so I'm 100, or I'm sorry, not 100. I'm 14 points behind him. He had Kyron Williams, which kind of killed me a little bit, but he's probably gonna beat me. He's probably gonna beat me. He has a pretty good roster. And what was he in the league? He's 5th in the league, so he's right ahead of me. A lot of hope for a miracle. Maybe Lamar Jackson actually does something for me this week rather than just killing me in other leagues. Don't know why I looked at that league. Anyway, next league, I actually feel very, very good about this league. I have an awesome roster. Josh Allen, Wandale, Terry McLaurin, Devontae Adams. This is all PPR. Breece Allen, Bucky Irving, Trey McBride, Jerry Jeudy. I feel great across the board. I'll be honest with my team. DeAndre Swift, Calvin Ridley, Zach Moss. Great depth on my side here, too, to be honest with you. And we just killed him. Lamar Jackson tried to kill me in this league, too, but he had 2 players that didn't do fucking anything because they suck. Ha, ha, ha. Fucking L. Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson almost killed me. He made up half their points. So luckily he didn't have anything else. But this week I actually feel very, very good. I'm 16 points ahead of him. He had Jordan Addison, unfortunately for him. Across the board, Dev Adams, Breece Hall, Swift, K. Otten. I feel great. I'm not even going to really talk about this league much. 4-3 in all 3 of the Yahoo leagues. So I'm in good positions, but like 2 of these leagues I'm expected to lose in, so that's not the greatest look. So we'll see. I'll maybe play a little bit play the waivers a little bit, but we'll see. I did try waivers in some of these leagues, but didn't work out. And Ayukin, so this is the standard league. I took an L. This is a really rough week for both of us, honestly. I think we're 2 of the lowest scoring people this week, besides, I think, one. Yeah, like, besides one other person who I think actually is another good team in this league, right? No, he's not. Okay, I thought it was the other guy. So I'm 5-2 now. I'm now 5th in the actual league, which is not great, going from 1st to 5th, but it can happen like that. Andy Dalton didn't do anything. If I started Darnold, I would have won. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm not going to dwell on it. He had a not good week either. Both of us deserve to lose. But it just so happens I was the one to actually lose. I don't know why my mouse is being so funny here. Because, again, the only people he had go off was Kyler Murray, who made up half his points. And I had Bijan Robinson. Everybody else just didn't do anything because we suck. Granted, this is standard league, so you're kind of just going off of whoever scores a touchdown. Take that as you will. But moving forward to this week, we have a tough matchup, 3-4. Even though he has 87 points, I had Jordan Addison and Sam Darnold, so it didn't work out great for me because I had Sam Darnold do well, but Jordan Addison didn't. I did pick up, I think, a quarterback, didn't I? No, I didn't pick up any quarterback. I did pick up Troy Franklin because remember the 16-man league as well. Sterling Shepard, I picked him up because I honestly think he could be low-key kind of good for Tampa Bay going forward because he kind of is a good second receiver, especially if he kind of takes that spot from Jalen McMillan, which I think is kind of low-key possible. But our starting lineup's not the most, great, not the greatest. Rashad White, Bijan Robinson, both okay. Lab McConkey, Debo, and Bijan. So I'm kind of hoping Debo plays. If he doesn't, then I'm ending up with Sterling Shepard or Troy Franklin as my receiver. Devin Singletary's there for long-term. Deontay is going to be there eventually. But he has Ridley, Laporta, Neighbors, Pickens, Chubb, Hunt. A lot of guys who can find the end zone. Maybe not like reliable guys, but like definitely a lot of guys that can find the end zone. So I'm not exactly the most optimistic. So right now we're looking at like 3 leagues I'm optimistic in for this week, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm optimistic about Doggy Style. I'm optimistic about 2 of these leagues, maybe 3. I guess I'm optimistic about all 3 of these. I'm optimistic about one of my Yahoos, and I'm not optimistic here. So I guess 5 leagues, whatever. So this is just a quick overview of my thoughts on fantasy and all this stuff to kind of review. I probably wasn't the most concise in terms of here's some stuff we need to break down. But this week doesn't feel like anything to really break down yet. We'll kind of get into it, especially in chances, percentages. I might even do a percentage chance of everybody currently in this league making the playoffs or something like that. So I don't know. We'll do something fun. Maybe even look at the league standings. I don't know. It feels like a lot of content though to kind of cover in one video. So we'll see. Dog is barking. Not my dog. Somebody else's dog. I'm gonna go pet it. Probably. I don't know. We'll do something today. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you on the next one.